Today I have a story on the theme of noticing things. In language learning, we have to notice things. I'm Joseph. This is Input English. Let's get started. In previous videos, you might have noticed that things behind me on the mantelpiece change. Typically, they change on your left side. These changes on the mantelpiece are not designed to be a distraction, just a hint that we need to notice things. That's all. Now, a lot of people have noticed these changes and have put comments in the comments section, so I know that people notice. So today, there are two objects behind me. One is larger than the other, and there's a story. Philosophically, I am not all that interested in objects and possessions and luxury. I'm much more interested in people and stories as opposed to objects. But objects are associated with stories, and that's what we have today. This story is about something that happened to my mom and me when I was a teenager. I don't recall exactly what age, but I was approaching adulthood, and she asked me to accompany her to an estate sale. I'm not sure she'd ever been to an estate sale, but she had it in her mind to go to an estate sale and look at what they were selling. The sale was being conducted by an elderly couple, and they were preparing to move out of their house into an apartment or perhaps assisted living. They were quite a bit older than my mom. They were conducting that sale themselves. They were present in the house. There were a few people around looking at objects, and from time to time something would be sold. And my mom and I looked at a lot of things. The possessions of this elderly couple were very nice. My mom looked at a couple of pieces that they had and was very interested in purchasing them. I'm not exactly sure what she was thinking at the time, but I got the impression that she thought that the prices were a little high, and she and I discussed that. I suggested that she bargain with them, and she rejected that idea. She said, "Oh, I would not be comfortable doing that." Now, a little history. My parents grew up during the Depression. They knew hard times, and they saw a lot of hardship during the Depression. I got the impression that one of the reasons my mom was not comfortable bargaining for a better price was her experience growing up during the Depression. Perhaps that's the reason. At any rate, she was not comfortable bargaining. She didn't want to haggle over the price. So, looking at the situation, I made a suggestion. I said, "Well, don't haggle, just ask a question. You're comfortable asking questions, aren't you?" And she said, "Sure." I said, "Why don't you ask the owner if this is their best price? Just ask if this is their best price for this object." She thought about that, and it seemed very doable. So she walked over to the owner holding this object and asked the owner, "Is that your best price?" And the owner looked at it and looked at the price that was labeled on a sticker on the bottom. And she said, "No, I think I can give you that for," and then she named a lower price. My mom was thrilled. She said, "I'll take it." There was another piece that she also wanted, not like this, but it was a mirror to go on top of a dresser, a dressing mirror, and it was very nice. And again, the price seemed a little higher than my mom wanted to pay. So she brought the owner, Mrs. Auber, over to that object, pointed to it, and repeated her question. And What would be your best price on this? Again, the owner looked at the price that she had put on it, gave it a little thought, and issued a new lower price. My mom accepted it. So she made those two purchases, and one of them is this, and I have inherited it because my mom passed nearly 20 years ago, and then this became mine. As I said, I'm not all that excited about objects and luxury and possessions. However, I am very charmed by the story associated by this piece. This piece and this piece are related because they're made in the same studio. These were produced by Carl Sorensen, who was an American artist who had a studio in Pennsylvania, and he made bronze objects. Some were lamps, some were sculptures, and some were things like this, vases, containers. They were all made of bronze, and then he applied a finish, this green, blue-green finish called verdigris. Verdigris is a finish applied to or developing on bronze and copper, providing that green or blue-green color. One of the places that you will see that coating is on the Statue of Liberty. The reason I have this piece is because I liked the one I inherited so much, I looked online to see if there were any other specimens produced by Sorensen's studio. And when I found that at a very good price, I purchased it. Of the two objects, the smaller one has much more value to me because it has that provenance that I inherited it from my mom, but more importantly, I was standing next to her when she learned to haggle and bought it. Putting this story together got me thinking about the role of the child and the parent and how those roles change over time. It brought to mind a poem, which I will not recite, but I'm going to put it in the description as a link so that you can enjoy that poem. It will be much better read by Billy Collins, who wrote it. So the poem is called The Lanyard. And the poem is written from the point of view of a son dealing with his mother. The poem states that his mother gave him a beating heart and a breathing body. And how can you repay that? The poem goes into that, the poem called The Lanyard. Now, Billy Collins is a poet that you should consider reading or watching his recitations on YouTube because he reads his own work very well. Billy Collins is living. He is a professor, and he was the poet laureate for the United States many years ago. His poems are not riddles. His poems are descriptions of things that are very charming, easy to understand, and the language is not difficult to follow. If you read or listen to Billy Collins' poetry, you will enjoy it for sure. In the theme of this episode, I mentioned that it was really about noticing things. And during the story, you might have noticed that I mentioned the name of the lady selling these objects. You may recall that I don't put pictures of people or disclose identities of people on this channel, but I did mention this lady. The reason is my mom got to know her very well, and her name was fixed in my memory for all these decades. So when I think of this object, I know the names associated with it. This was out of the studio of Carl Sorensen in Pennsylvania. These were made in the 1920s and 1930s, and the style of this object is Art Deco. That's what he made. This is Art Deco. And then I remember another person attached to this, and that is my mom, and how she learned to bargain or haggle for price. And then I remember that this object was owned, perhaps since it was new, by Mrs. Auber, a fine lady who passed this object on to my mom and then on to me. And if you like videos like this, be sure to click on this one next. See you soon.